What's up, Tallahassee? I'm meteorologist Jay Karstens, and this is our Thursday, June 28th edition of FSU Weather. A lot to talk about today, starting off with some increased rain chances that we're going to be seeing in the next couple of hours. Here are our headlines for tonight's show. Going forward, that typical summer pattern will continue with some slightly higher rain chances kicking into our region Sunday as well as Monday. We'll also have your 4th of July forecast in greater detail later on in the show. For now, we're starting to see some thunderstorms working their way into town from the north. Partly cloudy skies for now. That's going to be deteriorating just a bit in the next couple of hours or so. 89 degrees. We got highs into the upper 90s once again around town today. This is the big story. A squall line moving in through Georgia and Alabama, issuing a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings off to the south of Montgomery as of now. Weakening just a tad, so we're hoping that we're not going to be seeing any sort of severe action through the rest of the evening. But some scattered severe storms are still possible before midnight with a low of 75 degrees. Rain is likely, again, before really the 8 o'clock hour here around town. For that 3-day forecast, again, increased rain chances working into the weekend, thankfully cooling things down just a little bit. For more detail, here's Dylan.
Thank you very much, Jake. Let's look at what today was like, and our almanac showing us that today's high was another warm one, 97 degrees. Not seeing any relief in sight. We're above average on our highs and lows, so it's feeling very, very warm outside. But now it's going to start to cool down as those showers start to come into our area. You can already see 80 in Camilla. They're seeing those showers cooling them down. So seeing those showers move in. Here in Tallahassee, we're at 89, as Jake said. 95, though, very warm in Quincy. They're going to see some showers come into the area and cool things off. As we look at the dew points, though, no relief in sight. Everywhere you look, there is moisture in the air. That's sticking around. Those winds coming out of the south bringing more Gulf moisture. We haven't seen much relief, and that's leaving for some very muggy conditions. And with those muggy conditions, our feels like temperature, which is indicated by a heat index, is very, very high. 103 in St. Mark's, 100 here in Tallahassee, feeling very, very warm. That's 11 degrees warmer than it is actually here. So, but as the night goes on and as those showers come in, we're going to start to cool off, and the moisture is going to still be there, but the rain's going to cool our temperatures, so the feels like temperature is not going to be as intense. You do see these sea breeze showers firing up south of Tallahassee. That's a severe thunderstorm warning right now down there, and the severe thunderstorm watch has been very largely expanded in the last couple of minutes as these storms start to make their way over. As we look farther north, this is the first line of storms, and this is expected to weaken for the next couple of hours and move to our east. The other part, you can see these stronger storms are supposed to go to our west, so we're going to split the uprights right here, but we are going to see some rain in Tallahassee. For our forecast, though, if we put this into motion, you start to see the rain come through at about 9:30. That's going to be a little late. We're going to see those storms kind of start to pick up right around now, and they're going to continue throughout the rest of tonight and then start to clear out. But then as we start tomorrow, again, those storms are going to come back into our area and dump some more rain on us. And it's sticking around. Make sure you have your raincoat with you. And as we look at tonight's forecast, rain everywhere. There's not a single moon in the forecast. Thunderstorms possible for every single city in our forecast area. So make sure you do stay indoors and listen to your National Weather Service to make sure you are up to date with the current information. And same for tomorrow. Again, it looks like a repeat of tonight, but warmer temperatures though, so it's going to be a very warm and muggy day. Make sure you have your raincoat with you as you go into tomorrow. As for the next 7 days, you're going to see a 50% chance of rain for tomorrow, and that's going to continue as we get into the weekend, and it increases to 60% chance of rain, though our highs are finally dropping back into the 80s for Sunday and Monday, but that's not really saying much because it's 89 degrees, and our lows staying around the same at the mid-70s. And July 4th, we're going to have your forecast as we get closer, but looking like another wet one as well. No relief in sight. But Colby, you want to take us around the southeast?
Let's take a look at the southeast, Dylan. Thank you. We zoom on in. Out in the western portions of the southeast, blistering heat. Look at those 90s, even a century digit there, sitting right at 100 in El Paso. Blistering heat there, but as we bring things back to the east, closer to home, look at the yellows and greens. You can really see where that complex of shower and thunderstorm activity pushing across portions of Alabama and Georgia there. 89, that's some sea breeze convection over at the airport that we're starting to get, but that really, what we've been worried about, we'll look at that coming in a little bit closer. It's still a little bit out. A lot of moisture dealing with across the east, 76-degree dew point in Tallahassee, 70s all across the Florida Peninsula, much drier out to the west. You can see there, while only 30-degree dew point out in El Paso, a little bit more muggy there in Lubbock at 49. When we start to add those dew point values with that actual temperature, that's when you get that heat index, and things are blistering hot across portions of the southeast, especially out west. We look at 106 in Jackson, Mississippi, 103 down in the Big Easy, 106 over in Little Rock, 107 down in Houston. Very blistering heat there. And where we're getting that rain shower activity now, very much a lot of relief there. We see only 70s for heat index values. Quiet out west. Really the story of the southeast is this complex of showers and storms pushing through Alabama and into Georgia. We zoom in onto that, and let me where we can see that there. Look at now, they've expanded this severe thunderstorm watch into southern Alabama, far eastern portions even of Mississippi there. We're going to expect this to continue its approach into the Tallahassee area, but really we expect those to be strong storms as they're on approach there. A lot of lightning associated with this last 30 minutes, almost 400 strikes of lightning. So even if we don't have those severe thunderstorm warnings, we have to really watch out for those lightning strikes. Possible 40 to 50 mile per hour winds associated with this storm system coming into along that Highway 84 corridor. We go back west, Montgomery getting hammered right now. If you're heading up 85 toward Atlanta, not a good commute there. Looking at the RPM forecast, we set this in motion, all the action again out toward the eastern portions of the southeast. Tallahassee, right there, we start to see those showers and storms move through there, and things really starting to clear up over the nighttime hours. And then we really repeat the process with the sea breeze convection into tomorrow. If you're going to be out on the links tomorrow, definitely want to do that early on. 73 in the morning, then we'll have those showers and storms pushing in by afternoon, almost 90 there. Definitely want to hydrate. Tonight, where you're seeing those yellows, that's where that rain's moving through, clearing out west, but those temperatures, not much relief there. 80 there in El Paso. So into tomorrow, though, the heat is back on, folks. Out western portions of the southeast, 100 there in Dallas, 99 over in El Paso, and then we'll see that sea breeze convection popping back off. So we don't know if we'll get to those high temperatures in the mid-90s across the Florida Peninsula, but definitely some relief there. But you'll have to dodge a couple of thunderstorms, even if those high temperatures aren't where we expect them to be in the mid-90s. Now, taking a look nationally, let's hand it over to Jake.
All right, thanks a lot, Colby. If you thought the southeast was the only spot really seeing that heat and humidity, well, it's a completely different story across much of the country here, as this has been spreading northward with this ridging pattern that's been in place for the last few days across much of the country, which is why you see plenty of triple digits, even in Denver, Colorado at 102 degrees currently. We could be seeing some spots of Colorado getting up to 105 degrees, which is unheard of for even this time of year in those areas. And that heat's even expanding all the way up into the upper plains, 85 degrees in Minneapolis currently, and well, some 90s in parts of the Dakotas. That moisture being lifted all the way out of the Gulf of Mexico into the northern plains, the upper Midwest. So we're seeing some dew points in the 70s in areas like Kansas City, up through Des Moines, up towards Rapid City. And that's really setting up for a significant severe weather threat that's going to be building in parts of the high plains later on this evening. And of course, the other big story is the heat index values here and the excessive heat warnings that have been issued for many parts of the Midwest as well. Feeling like 109 degrees in Kansas City, 107 in Memphis. So it's not just the southeast that's really getting in on a lot of that action. The surface map shows you this big dome of high pressure that's really operating over much of the central and southern plains. Normally I'd call it the bubble of happiness, but with all of this heat that's really in the picture, not exactly the right kind of thing we're going to be looking for here. We'd like some relief in these parts of the country with a little bit of rainfall. And we're getting that with some of these storm complexes moving through parts of Illinois and Missouri. However, there is plenty of severe threat with this as well. As the satellite and radar tour is going to show you here, we have severe thunderstorm watch active from parts of northwestern Wisconsin all the way into North Dakota, with a tornado watch also active. Starting to see some cells flaring up in parts of Montana over towards North Dakota, and that's just going to be growing with the potential for a significant wind threat later on tonight in those areas. Obviously, we've been talking about what's going on in the southeast, and this severe thunderstorm watch was just issued about 10 minutes ago for parts of Florida, Alabama, as well as Mississippi here, just to the west of Tallahassee, west of the Apalachicola River. Numerous active warnings on that in parts of Alabama, as well as a complex of storms moving in through Illinois. Another severe thunderstorm watch is active there, just to the northeast of St. Louis right now, packing a serious wind punch with 70-mile-per-hour winds or even higher possible. And of course, the heat is another big story here. The excessive heat warnings throughout much of the Midwest, most of the entire state of Illinois, including Chicago, St. Louis, up through Minneapolis, seeing some of that concern there, as well as some fire weather with the continued drought situation through parts of the Four Corners, nearly the entire state of Utah, a big chunk of Colorado, really seeing this dry air and high wind being a big threat for those areas. We're going to be watching tonight for that complex of storms to build in the Dakotas, moving off to the east through parts of the northern Great Lakes as we move through tomorrow, setting up for a bit more of a modest pattern for us tomorrow throughout much of the country, although we're going to still be seeing the threat of some storms. In the southeast, 70s pretty much anywhere across the board throughout much of the eastern two-thirds of the country, with the threat of storms for the upper plains into the southeast. And for tomorrow, that heat will not be going away. Could be seeing many spots getting into the triple digits. But for now, we're going to zoom back into Florida with Dylan.
Thank you very much, Jake. And speaking about heat, we have some heat located in Florida. It's everywhere except the central part where they've seen showers. Look at Pensacola at 94. They're the warm spot. Oh, they just switched over to 92 with some showers now moving into that area. The storm squall line we've been talking about is really coming into that area, and the moisture sticking around for the entirety of the state of Florida. Not a place below 70 degrees in our dew points temperature, and they really indicate how much moisture is in the air, and it's just a ton of moisture. Something to look at where our winds. You do see the westerly winds out of the western part of Florida and the easterly winds on the east coast of Florida. Those are converging and firing up these sea breeze showers in the central part of the state. But the big thing to look at are these severe storms moving into the northern part. Everywhere from Panama City westward is under a severe thunderstorm watch. They do have a severe thunderstorm warning right now in Wakulla County. That's affecting those areas south of Tallahassee, but those storms are going to move off the coast of Florida. Forecast going into tonight, you do see all those storms sticking around, but as those storms farther north start to move through the area, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Pensacola are going to see those stronger bits of storms, and then they're going to move their way down south through Florida and dissipate as the night goes on. But then we do see a resurgence in the morning of some of those storms with a low pressure system off the coast of Florida, firing up some more storms and making it another rainy day throughout the entire state of Florida. For tonight, same kind of thing we saw in Tallahassee, not a single moon in the sky because you got rain showers throughout tonight and rain showers throughout tomorrow, and another warm day. Not seeing relief in our forecast for today and tomorrow, so make sure you do have your water bottle with you if it's a hot day, and make sure you do have your raincoat with you if you're getting rained on. But now, Colby, you want to look into our local area?
Let's bring things back closer, and looking out over Doak Campbell Stadium, we had those clouds move through, and then as we've gotten into the last hour or so, we've really started to see those cumulonimbus clouds start to really be seen there on that camera, especially back off to the south there. So as we've had that sea breeze convection start to affect our area. Down out of the airport, 89 degrees. We've cooled down a little. We've had some cloud cover and then a couple strikes of lightning possible there with some of that sea breeze storms. Not related though to those storms over to our north. And wow, look, we're starting to see where those storms are because we can look at those temperature gradients. We can see the yellow starting to filter in our area, cooler conditions. But we're going to really have to wait on that for places like Bainbridge there. They're already sitting right now at 97 degrees, 91 St. Mark's, 89 here in Tallahassee. A lot of moisture we're dealing with in the atmosphere right now. Look at all the 76s, even the 78 down Apalachicola. Very thick moisture-filled air right now as we're dealing with this air mass and all that onshore flow. As we were talking about earlier, look at the storms. We've talked about this all day. This is actually coming in on approach to Tallahassee now. We have that sea breeze convection, which is responsible for that storm there in Wakulla County. That will be moving offshore. But along Highway 84 corridor from Valdosta down through Thomasville over into Bainbridge, we're going to have to watch that. And then also into Alabama, Dothan, we're going to have to watch that. These are severe thunderstorm warnings there, 60-mile-per-hour gusts there, possible 40 to 50-mile-per-hour gusts in Tallahassee. We put that forecast, that radar forecast into motion, and it's really about the 9 o'clock hour. I would say closer to 8 though. Let's say from 8 to 10 we want to watch for those showers and storms to move through our area from that line there. And then as those move through, things will clear up overnight. And then tomorrow we'll have the same thing happen, but that won't be related with these complex of storms. This will be purely sea breeze convection in the afternoon that we'll have to look for there. Tonight, 75 degrees, possible strong to severe storms that will move through the area 8 to 10 o'clock. So you want to take care of those things outdoors now before those storms get in, because it'll be well after midnight before things will actually dry up. 93 degrees tomorrow, those heat index values back up at 100, especially if you don't have any cloud cover or rain moving through the area. If you're going to be out, maybe you're heading over to the beach, 87-degree water temperature, light chop there. Again, watch out. If you're going to be on the links, you're going to have to watch out as well. So you're going to have to watch out for those storms in the afternoon and those heat index values, especially as we have 90 degrees already there. But Going into the next several days, the 90-degree temperatures will persist, especially if we don't really have much of the heating from the cloud cover. 60% chance there on Sunday. Monday, 70% chance of storms. And as we go into that week there, Wednesday is Independence Day, and we're going to have to watch out for that because possible shower and thunderstorm activity there. 93 degrees, so not a complete washout. That will be sea breeze convection, so rather nice there. And also, please send in those pictures. We're on all facets of social media, Facebook, YouTube, even on Instagram and Twitter. We love you sending in the pictures. Well, hey, you could even maybe see them on the show. Have a great night and stay safe, Tallahassee.